Hey.
That freeze on just me?
No, it was because Katrina was talking, and then I
I know.
pressed it.
I messed the whole thing up.
Ah, that's fine.
That's right.
Anyway, welcome to SeerNova Podcast, Season 2, Episode 10. We have two people here. Who are you? And what do you do? Let's start with Katrina, who is below me.
Thanks. I feel good about myself now. Feeling good. All right, so I'm Katrina. I am a book editor, comics and prose, and I write children's books.
And you like cats.
And I like cats, yeah. Which is why it's Cat Scratch Press.
And the one that's below Dylan is Laurie. Who are you and what do you do?
Hi, everybody. I'm Laurie Calcaterra. I'm the writer-creator of Path of the Pale Rider, which is a Western apocalypse series. And I make hot sauce, rebind books, knife fight for fun, and put on blonde wigs and harass Greg Moquin as well. Sums it up.
Sure.
What did I miss? What?
What? That's a good show.
Greg, I just realized, where are our names? I've been trying like this whole time to get our names to appear. And
I got rid of the names when I was doing that video.
Got rid of the names.
I know, but like I can't find out to turn them back on. Just going through like all these settings, and I'm like going crazy over here.
Somewhere. There it is.
Oh, and
But now it's in front of Greg's face.
I don't care. No one wants to see my names.
At least it's my right name. That's good.
All right.
Oh, now I don't have a little white drop-down box.
Oh, I can add it. What do you want added?
I don't. Whatever. Whiner about drop-down boxes.
Queen of Cats.
Whatever. There you go. Perfect.
So
Good job.
we'll start with Katrina.
Yeah.
What inspired you to like get into writing?
I started writing as a kid, but I didn't start writing seriously until my kids were older. And when they were 9, 10, whatever that age, those ages where you read your kids' books, they weren't impressed. So they didn't want me to read them books. They wanted me to tell them stories. So, and then when they got a little older, they're like, "Why don't you write the stories down?" Of course, by which point I'd forgotten all the stories, so I had to make up new ones.
Nice.
Cool. And Laurie, what's your like inspiration behind Path of the Pale Rider?
Well, I really like all sorts of nerd things, but I also like horror. So zombie genre, I love zombie genre, but I wanted something different. And so I wanted to take zombies in a direction no one has taken them before. So Path of the Pale Rider, instead of having quote unquote zombies, we broke death, which is different because your zombies aren't flesh-eating, brain-craving monsters. It's just you stuck in your body as you decay. And it's people, animals, insects, and fish. It's nothing dies correctly anymore. So that was kind of my inspiration, is that question, just what would happen to the world if death broke? What would cause that, and what would it look like?
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Ed Davis's book is like so close to that, but in a different way.
Yeah, Ed Davis is like, what if people could no longer die? Period. So they're like 200 years old and just miserable. I think I'd be pretty miserable too at the point when I'm 200. Like, get off my lawn. But
There's nothing new. Yeah, by the time you're 200, you've seen it and done it all.
See, that's crazy. If I could live to be to 200, I would become a hyper polyglot with a master of every martial arts. I would learn every technical and
you
physical
didn't say
skill.
you get to keep your youthful physique.
But still, like, it's like one of I would
A wheelchair and a bedpan, man. You're smart nothing.
It'd be like Arnold. You got to lift when you're like 80 and still be solid. That's
I see. Good luck.
I try. Look at Greg in his full blue bar over there. He's like, I'm too cool for the white bar.
Yeah.
Whatevs too.
Nerd.
No, because it makes it taller, and then he like shrinks. Like then he's looking like this.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's blocking his face. Yeah, I noticed.
Greg Moquin.
How are you? Yeah, this
Comics.
this is actually just an AI simulation. That's not even him.
Show us your hands.
That's why it's so much more.
Okay, he's real.
You know, all of a sudden you see this, you're like, oh, what's that?
I'm like, yeah. Did anybody count fingers?
Yeah.
Is anybody else's phone going off randomly?
So Katrina, how did
I am so professionally prepared today. Can you tell?
She's like, for this.
All right, sorry, Greg. What was the question?
how did you like transition from writing to publishing? You still are writing.
Yeah, I still am writing. In theory, that's a theory. In theory, I'll have a book out this year. You know, it's different. I mean, writing stories, I don't want to say it's easy, but there's a lot to publishing that I had going in. I had no idea. I was like, I need a what and what. Wait, you have to have a different cover for ebooks and print books.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very lucky that I've got, friends of mine who are not as inexperienced, who are like, no, it'll be okay. Don't panic. I've got you. And they've stepped up and helped me out a lot. But it's definitely a challenge.
Yes.
And then I have people coming to me going, so how do you do it? And I'm like, oh, dude, I may not be.
Yeah, it's like that is a great question.
I feel like partially just because life is so insane here that I'm not putting out books as fast as I want to. And so I feel like I have to relearn like the formatting and all that every single time I do it because there's so much time in between.
Yeah. Yeah, we like start writing things down. Well, Dylan has me start writing things down so we remember to do certain things like steps and stuff.
I got smart at one point, and I have a Word document that is my template for all of my books. So
That's
I just
smart.
have to. So I'm like, why am I redoing this template every single time?
Yeah.
I was like, I could do this one time and just rename the file each time.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Like I won't say how many books it took me to figure that one out.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge deal though. Like templates are just super time saving. Like that's one thing. Greg and I are still working on that stuff. Like we have like tons of ridiculous amounts of like just documents and stuff stored in the ethos of Google Drive and Notion that we're just like, eventually one day this will become something very cool.
Mhm.
If we just wish upon a star,
Yeah. And yeah, publishing is a lot because like we're actually trying to start doing that ourselves. Like we publish our stuff, but we're not
Right.
just trying to publish like other people this year. So
Yeah, I've gotten lucky that nobody's come to me and gone, "Will you publish my book?"
we literally we had enough people ask us that now we're like, I guess we have to do it.
You
Like,
have to do it.
Yeah.
yeah. So now that's definitely going to be in.
I get more about how do you write children's stories, and I'm like, the same way you write anything else. You sit down, as a friend of mine says, butt and seat, hands on keyboard.
I was going to speak Fran in hand.
Yeah, Harold in the Purple Crayon version.
Nice.
Yeah.
so what was I going to say? Oh, Laurie. So what like challenges do you have writing and like bringing world building into the whole like Path of the Pale Rider? You do like so much stuff like on your Kickstarter and stuff with like poker card and all that other stuff. So
Yeah, and that's actually part of my challenge is keeping up with all of the things I thought I should just throw together for Path of the Pale Rider, right? Because we have the story, which is the comic. We have Choose Your Own Adventure books. We have riddles on the back of every cover that function and like send things to people in the mail and working phone numbers and hidden YouTube videos. And it's like, that's a lot. And then the fan interactive short films on top of that. I'm actually overdue for a short film because I try to do those once every issue as well. and I have the script for the next one, but it's just finding the time. Finding the time to film and then coordinating with other adults who are also busy in their life to carve time out so I can come film them. Because at this point, I think the fandom is tired of seeing Laurie act out all the parts. Like, we're not in high school anymore. And our last film was great. Like, I had 2 actors involved, and I had a ton of people that participated in the fan interaction part. I zombified 40 people for the credits. And so again, it's all fun stuff that I really enjoy. It just is a lot of time. And then of course there's the comic book side, managing the art team, running the campaign, all the marketing, the podcasting. And then so really I have a hard time carving out time to write. That's the hardest part for me, because all the other hats that I'm wearing, and then my family life, and I'm so far ahead in the script where it's like, I don't got to touch that for a while. So that's I mean, for me, that's the challenge, is finding time to do all the things. I need more people. I gotta need a clone.
I would like to have more people too. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Clone me. That would be great.
You just gotta get some like VAs, like some little minions doing stuff for you.
Minions.
Something I started doing. I have a virtual assistant for like my marketing, and I'm like, it's like small task done. Can you just do this? And it takes a couple of tries, and then eventually it's like, okay, now they can do that repeatedly, and it's like super helpful. I'm like, and what's it called? If you get them in different countries, like the dollar translation is ridiculous. So you can get them like our dollar's worth 5, 10, 15 of theirs. So it's like, yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Delegation. That's probably my next step. Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Eliminate the useless stuff, automate the stuff that can be automated, delegate the stuff that can be delegated.
Right.
Yeah.
So a big question is, so communities like plays a big role in the indie community, like community building. So like we can start with Katrina on that. How important do you think that is? Like,
I think it is important. The more people the more eyes on things. Whether that's from a work build-up perspective or from like a Kickstarter campaign perspective. I'm not good at it. I'm the first to admit. I'm good at writing. I'm good at editing. The business aspects of it are definitely my weak point. If I could just give books to everybody, I probably would.
Yeah.
I'd probably edit for free too, but Greg, do not take that to heart.
Sorry, Greg.
Sorry, everybody but Greg. No. Well, he did say I was below him earlier, so I mean.
Okay.
No, I think community is really important. One of the things I like when I get to table at conventions and stuff is that community aspect of it. Getting to meet everybody and have people come up. The last show I did, I actually ran into some of my band kids from when my sons were in high school. And they came up and they're like, "Oh my God, what are you doing? What do you have?" One of them actually owns everything I've ever written.
That's awesome.
Which
cool.
is it's just sponge. There was nothing on the table she didn't have, so she had to buy a pin because that's the only thing I had that she didn't have.
That's cool.
And I was just about to pull those from the table because I never sell, but here you go. But yeah, no, I definitely think that community is an important aspect to what we do.
Yeah.
As creators, the creator community, as well as your own personal community, as fans and followers and things like that.
That's a big deal, though. Having other stuff like I think we mentioned right before starting the call, like having other little items is good for those super fans, like the ones that like they already have all your stuff. They'd love to give you more money, which you can use
right.
The next project. So whatever it is, it can be stickers, pins, backpacks, clothing.
Yeah. We do stickers, pins, and I have like little 5x7 prints of some of the characters.
Yeah, we have a bunch of like these trading cards, but it's not like it doesn't have a bio or anything on it like the other trading cards that we have that are for our horror anthology. And there's people that sometimes walk by our table and then just try to grab one because they like the picture. And I'm like, that costs something. And they're like, Oh. And like it's not $1 million, but like yes.
Right. I have that with bookmarks.
Yeah. Or like a sticker, like there's like kids that like grab it and like whatever, just take it.
Yeah, when it's kids.
It's not unusual for me to like see a little kid with like a birthday hat or something on. I'm like, here, have a sticker.
Yeah.
Or they're out there, they don't have any of their own money.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
It's funnier though when they do. They just grab it.
yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or there's one kid that came up to our table like near the end of SeerNova Comic-Con.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Dude, okay.
You don't walk away with comics?
Yeah. So he had it's in a tote. It's the Master Sword, but it's like a dice holder, and it was like 3D printed.
Oh, I think you talk about the one at the most recent.
Were they trying to barter with you?
No, they
You get that.
Yeah.
We get that at cons all the time where someone's like, "Can I barter books for this banana?" And I was like, "Banana."
I borrowed fried chicken.
Oh, well, that's barterable. But a banana
for a book discount. A banana and a cookie.
Oh,
book discount? That's a
Well,
you won on that.
Well, it was a $25 book, and I think I got like a really big piece of like KFC fried chicken, and so I
not a bucket.
No, well, that was just she came up to the table carrying a KFC bucket, and I thought it was a cosplay thing, like she's gonna have a stuffed chicken in it or something. And so I was like, what's in your bucket? She goes, chicken, and I'm like, what? Seriously? She goes, yeah. She showed me. She goes, do you want a piece? And I said, yeah. I mean, I'm stuck behind a table all day. I haven't eaten. So people who teach their kids not to take candy from strangers, I'm taking fried chicken from total strangers.
In exchange for books, it was a business transaction.
She gave me this great big piece of chicken, and there's a book she's interested in. It was $25. It was one of those. I had one copy left from like a comp copies or something. I had extras, and so I had like one on the table of it, and I was like, it was like 25. I was like, $20, and it's yours. So it's like a $5 piece of chicken, but that's okay because I didn't have to go pay convention prices for food.
I was just about to say, if it was a convention, that thing might have been a $20 piece of chicken.
Right?
She's smuggling chicken into a.
I don't know how she carried in a whole bucket of chicken.
They probably thought it was cosplay too. Is it a weapon? No. Okay.
No.
But yeah, that kid like bartered with us. He had like a 3D printed Master Sword, like from Legend of Zelda, and it was not like the size of it.
Right.
But I was like, that's really cool because I love Zelda. So, and he's like, yeah, and he's like sliding it, and I'm like, oh, it holds dice like for D&D. That's kind of cool. What do you want to do with that? He's like,
you trip him and take it. That's what I know.
You just chucked one of those stickers across like a throwing thing and grabbed the sword and ran.
But he's like, can I
get it? It's so nice. It slides.
I think he bartered something else to get that, and he's like, this is worth $50. I'm like, is it? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, all right. So we made like a deal, and Dylan's like, okay, so you take each comic is $10. Take 5 comics that you want from this table, and then come back to like we'll take the sword, and then come back to just tell us like if anybody got them by the end of the day. And like I think 3 of the 5 like somebody else wanted, so I was like, see, so somebody still wanted the comic. So that was kind of cool.
That's funny.
Yeah, they do a thing here. I see it every once in a while, like the local like garage sale groups where you start with something really small, and your goal is to end up swapping it out to something really big.
That reminds me of The Office.
Yeah, I think that's what he did though. I think he started with a pen and he kept trading up. Eventually, he got a poster for something else, and then he got the sword, and then he came to us, so we gave him like 5 comics.
Yeah.
But no, Greg, I was totally thinking you were talking about the kid who picked up a couple of comics and then was like slowly like finishing the conversation and ready to walk away. And we're like,
oh no.
He's like, we're like, hey, oh, do you want to buy those? He's like, oh, I thought I could just grab these. Like, so I was like,
I know.
I'm like, what other table did you go to today that happened? I'd love to know. Like,
maybe take him back there and be like, pay for things, or
Oh yeah, we ended up getting them back, but it was just so funny. It was so weird that he picked up like I think it was like 2 different comics that were like, oh yeah, here's some that you might like. He's,
I just say that my very first comic that I ever owned that was mine was given to me at a convention. So
we've given away comics.
So there was a girl that came up to our table at the fall show of SeerNova Comic-Con, and she's like, "Cat guy," and I'm like, "What?" And
Yes,
she's like,
cat guy.
Answer to that? Yeah.
That's me now. Okay, just Greg Mockery. So that name's better than Moquin.
Permanent now.
It's not permanent.
We named a ton of indie creators through the Karen show, and they respond to their Karen names. Von Coleman does too. All right.
So yeah, there's a girl came up and she's like, "It made my day because it was like my birthday in May when like you just gave me mittens," and I was like, "Oh, I forgot about that."
Yeah, my first book was Critter #1.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That's cool.
from Tom.
Tom gave it to you?
Yep.
That's amazing. Get it from their creator too. Cool.
Yeah, and it was actually like the original Critter #1, not one of the re-releases or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's super
cool. I would ask the same question, but she kind of like answered that.
What?
I don't even remember the question.
Community.
Oh, community.
Oh, community. Yeah, I do the community.
Yeah.
I do the podcasting. I do the Comic-Cons. I do all the building community. I like to collaborate. I'm on a ton of shows whenever I have a live campaign. Like right now, I'm sure you all are sick of seeing my posts in my face. I apologize because I'm everywhere. But that's how I like to pay it forward, is that I host a handful of shows. And sometimes I'll hop on and co-host other people's shows when their host is missing, just to help. I love giving people a spotlight. There's a ton of great creators out there with just amazing stories and amazing projects. And it's like people need to know they exist in order for them to show up and to support these people. And so that's what I strive to do with community, because people do that for me. I want to turn around and do that for other people as well. So I try to build community with my fan base. We play games. I smash watermelons that they name, and they name puppies in my story, and then I kill them. Welcome to my story. They know what they're getting themselves into with me. If you've been reading my story, they know. People, we play games and we do fun community building, like the fan interactive short films where they can see themselves in the story, stuff like that. So it's important, to not only start those relationships, but then continually build those relationships. And I think that's one of the things that I spend a lot of time on, and I'm successful in that. So
yeah, I try to do that.
We all try. Do what we can. There's only so much time in the day. So you're either paying someone money to do it for you, or you're paying with time.
Right. And that's what I'm running into right now. It's just no time.
Right.
I started Twitch streaming back in September and loved doing it, but then we hit like the winter months, and our schedules just get absolutely nuts. And I've had people message me going, "Are you coming back?" I'm like, April, probably April, because I got to get through basketball season.
Yep.
I've got a kid who has season tickets to Michigan State. Plus, he plays Special Olympics basketball. Plus, his favorite player from Michigan State is now playing on a G League team in Detroit. Plus, his little brother plays 4th grade basketball. So,
Katrina, you're from Michigan, right?
Yeah.
I forgot. That's great. I'm originally from Michigan as well. I'm just not there anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. I was in Northville before we moved. So it's like, you're doing what? Michigan State? And I was like, Michigan State.
Yeah, I'm at the Breslin a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, and then regular life, on top of the 4 basketball seasons I'm keeping track of.
There's no time.
No, I'm like, guys, It's not that I don't love you or don't want to hang out with you anymore. It's just I just don't have the time to fit that in.
Laurie does martial arts. How does that intertwine into your comics, if at all?
It does. I love writing fights. We're gonna have some pretty detailed fights coming up. Jude St. Clair, our protagonist, Cowboy, is a brawler. He's not really super skilled. He's your average guy. And so the fights that I've written for Jude that you've seen so far, like issue 2, he was in a saloon brawl. Not super technical, but still fun. Like we do fun things like he takes off his cowboy hat and puts it on someone's face before he punches him. You know what I mean? So there's still big moments and they're fun to watch. But I have another character that's coming very soon in the story that is a technical fighter. So I can't wait until this person shows up in the story so you guys can see, the things I've been waiting to get out. But it's still kind of hard though, because some of the fights are so technical. In the script, it's like backhand speed punch and then parry, and then you're gonna, you know what I mean? Like the way that I describe them is with technical terms.
Yeah.
And so there'll be that communication barrier between myself and my artist unless they understand those terms. So sometimes I'll even call up some of my martial art friends in the area. Exactly. And we video it. Like we'll act it out. And we'll put it on camera and be like, okay, this is what we're trying to communicate with this fight.
That's super cool. That's something Greg Greg knows. I took martial arts for many years. I got really good with it, and I was like, one day I want to choreograph like the animation and the real life stuff for this. And it's like, I'm like super excited when we get to like those like very technical fight scenes. But that was exactly what we were talking about, like taking like still shots like the old Mortal Kombat video games, or getting like quick little video clips of like, this is what I want. Like,
just real quick, what do you practice?
Jeet Kune Do. So it is, which is awesome. So I basically learned, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Aikido, Taekwondo, Karate, Wing Chun, Silat. What is it? Man, a lot. I learned a lot of martial arts because the whole point of Jeet Kune Do is it is a hybrid martial arts. It's like the first mixed martial arts before that was a thing. And it was very fun. And I sparred with my my uke and my Sifu quite a lot, so I definitely had a blast doing that.
I started in Silat, and then I'm more in Filipino martial arts at this point with weapons.
Like Kali and stick fighting.
I'm in Kali Illustrissimo, which is a newer art if you're familiar with the Illustrissimo story. But this guy was in the military, left the military to be part of the Coast Guard, was fighting pirates on boats, and then left that to become a hitman in Manila, and was a very successful hitman because he lived well into his 80s. So this is the art that I'm currently in. So it's amazing.
Who Dan Inosanto is?
Of course.
Yeah. So because because he's one of the oldest people around that's familiar with all the different Filipino martial arts and all the forms of Kali and stuff, and it was very. I went to a couple of his seminars, and it was very cool to see that.
Yeah, he's a treasure. He really is.
He's
a national treasure. People, leave him alone.
Last time I saw him, because this was a few years ago, so he's older now, but I think he was 82, and he was so freaking fast. I couldn't believe it. I just remember him doing a technique, and I'm like looking, and I'm like. I do this all the time. I'm like, I watch my Sifu do this. I watch him do it full speed. I don't know what the hell I just saw.
Exactly. And you mimic. And this is the funny part where you're like, you did this. And he was like, that's not even close to what I did. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, you did, it's this. And he's like, try again. And you're like, all right, can you give me a clue here? You know what I mean? Because I'm seeing this. No? All right.
Yeah.
So
he's it's very cool too. Cause like he, what's it called? Yeah, like I'm very good at mimicking too. Like that's probably that's probably one of the reasons I elevated very quickly with my Sifu, is that I could watch him do something and then replicate it pretty closely to the point where like he was running through levels with me like extremely fast. But yeah, when I watched Dino Santo, I was just like, holy crap. I was like, yes, that is the level. I didn't know. I did that. Do you know?
I don't want to take over the whole show with martial arts. Just saying, because you and I can go off on our own tangent martial arts stuff, but we're gonna sidetrack the show.
Greg, we should for a future episode have a martial arts episode and talk about martial arts the whole thing.
He's like, Greg's like, I won't be there. You enjoy it.
That would be cool though, talking about how to choreograph fight scenes for comics. Oh my god, that could be on the.
And I mean, like, this is what I was doing when I started writing. So I wasn't writing as a young person. Like Katrina was writing, right? And I was like, I was choreographing fight scenes.
Kicking ass.
I was kicking ass, but I was managing them.
I was writing bad poetry about like
That's
witches
okay.
and
You were
pumpkins.
writing, right? And they were like, "Hey, you're great at kicking butts. Can you write?" And I was like, "I don't know." And was my in, and I started writing screenplay. So my martial art background led me to writing. So I mean, it's interesting.
You're a comedian. Can you act? No.
It's a different skill.
But yeah, Greg, we should do that for the what's it called? The SeerNova, the virtual expo.
Oh, for expo. Choreographing fight scenes for comics. Yeah. Because you can be of a couple schools on that thought too. So we could definitely discuss that.
Yeah.
We need to get some artists on there too that specifically talk about like their understanding of fight scenes too. Like ones that are good at it, like first. That would be very cool.
It's its own thing. Like when I was choreographing fights, the production company had no experience with filming action. And so they had to learn what camera angles worked, like, to capture some of these movements. If you watch, we did a short film called Catfishing, and I can tell you the exact places where they did. Yeah, it's funny, Greg. It was like me running up walls in a stairwell and gun disarms and extended knife fights, and I ran someone over with a car. The acting is shit. Okay, we're not actors. We choreograph fight scenes. That's what we're good at. But I can tell you the exact shots. Like this one, they captured what we were doing, and this one they didn't. Like this move was so much cooler than what we were able to show. And so there's an art to it, and I think that translates into comics where it's like we have this great fight scene, but it has to flow, and there has to be decision making, and it has to go with the story. But you can't bog down the entire story with 12 pages of fighting.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's definitely true. That's something that is interesting. Like whenever even if it's cool in your mind, you can only have so much of the comic dedicated to a fight scene before like it's just like a bunch of playing cards with fight poses on it.
Right, that, and I mean, like it doesn't translate all the time because it's static.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So getting that is cool as a parry. Like if I'm parrying something and it's going right, that knife is going right past my face, and you catch that on the camera, that's a cool moment. But like seeing a dude like,
yeah,
who cares?
Honestly, that's probably one of the biggest reasons for like mnemonics in comics, like those big words that are splashed across the page. Is it's almost to imply that this is where that punch or fight, fighting action was moving to like give that illusion of like the punch is over here, but the swoosh is over here, and it's like it's like that's why it's like all of the illustration behind making the visual art of like a fight, which is very much motion based and captured into singular panels and in a short enough time frame to make it epic without eating up the comic. Yeah, that's definitely a skill both for the writer, the choreographer, and for the artists themselves.
Yeah,
agreed.
Or you'll just have Katrina like, this is too many fight scenes, and then just
like, too many fight scenes.
She's
too
like,
many pages.
You see this part? This is when you hit too many, and now
It's just like a big red X.
rewrite this section. It's like
Panel 5, no.
Like-
Panel 6, no.
12 pages is fighting is excessive.
it's like how long is the comic? The comic's only
It's only 18-page comic. You got 6 pages of
12
other
pages
things.
of fights. Yeah.
well, the comic is called Fight. So
Okay.
Okay, I get it.
Fish Lee is the artist for our new series that's coming out in April called Night Watch, and it's like my character that's an MMA fighter turned into like a vigilante, and he's like, I've never watched UFC in my life, and I'm like, yeah, I rarely watch it. I just thought it would be cool for the character. And he's like, oh, well, now I have to watch like fights
Yes.
on YouTube. And I'm
Mhm.
like, well, go do that.
I mean, it's like all the fighting styles can be different. Depending on the body type of the character, things will work differently. A female character versus a male character, unless they're super powered, is going to fight differently. And so, I mean, like someone like myself would pick it apart. Maybe not everybody, but I'd be like, that's not possible. Like, Laurie, it's a superhero. I'm like, okay, it's X-Men. All right, fine, I'll give you that, but that's still not possible. Like,
I do hate that, like when you watch like an action movie and you're like, no, she didn't. That didn't happen.
that's me where I'm like, I can't watch it. Like, fall out of it. Like, what's the new Tron? The Tron legacy, whatever. The Son of Flynn, not the new one that's coming out. That's not out yet. But there was like, the Son of Flynn, and then there was that one girl. I'm so terrible at this. Terrible at this game.
Thing with the face, they had.
Yeah, in the movie,
That one
like,
movie that
yeah.
Who was at that location with?
No, they were
Right.
in the bar and they had a stick fight, and she was doing the fighting, and she was supposed to be a skilled fighter, and I was just like, I'm out. Like, I'm out. Like, it's just not. It's not believable.
Yeah.
Oh, it is Tron Legacy. That was in
Oh,
2010.
I was right. See, I'm
Yeah.
good at names.
Shit.
No, I don't know.
I'm good at names, just bad and trusting in myself.
That's exactly. I was like, it's like Tron Legacy or something. I don't know, but I don't.
Strong, very bad confidence. Yeah.
It was terrible. I was like, she needed to go to fight school. They probably spent zero time training her. And
Oh, I
so
thought you were talking about Iron Fist.
bad mim. It was like stick, and it wasn't even. There was no force behind it. It was just like stick.
Did you see the show Iron Fist? That's all that made me think.
No, I won't watch that one.
It was so brutal because I think one of the other actors, like Luke Cage or somebody else, like went and actually trained in fighting, and then this guy's supposed to be like the supreme
This
martial
artist.
and apparently he kind of bailed on a bunch of the training for the role, and like he didn't go through as much as he should have for it. And there's times where I'm like, dude, that didn't even look like he went to a class, and he's like, this is ridiculous.
That was the biggest complaint about that series, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna bother.
Like you could have got like literally just some kid who took martial arts, and it would have been a better like.
Why didn't could they not afford a stunt? It was Disney, right? Or Netflix?
No, not at that time.
No, it was just
Still, they
I bet it was when it was transitioning, so they were probably losing budget for it, and they're probably like,
They're probably like, we're not gonna pay money for this because it's not gonna.
It's like we were gonna get Dan and Osanto to train you, but instead we got
Nope.
Steve. Meet Steve.
You got Steve.
Steve's
He's like, I work here.
No, he works at a local laundry.
Steve works in catering.
Yeah. He's like,
He's
I brought-
how he balances them is incredible.
Now his knife skills, on the other hand.
I do. They're like, oh, perfect.
He was shanked once. That's why that's his knife.
Great squirrels. Real life street fighting skills. Did I mention he almost died?
Yeah. In fact, he's not going to be able to make it today because that was actually today that happened, and it turns out he's not as skilled as we thought he was.
His new name is Steve the Stitch.
I thought you were going to say Steve Deceased. I was like, my campaign.
Survived the shanking, but just barely. There, then bleed out Ben.
Luckily, death is not available, so he's still around. But
That's in my story.
Luckily,
I'm sorry, we sidetracked it with martial arts. Sorry, guys.
So do either of you have any Comic-Cons that you're going to soon? We'll start with Laurie, just because I know.
Oh, Katrina, she's been patiently waiting to talk.
Oh,
she has nothing. Usually, I've been doing a show for the last 2 years, and this year, I just became invisible. No, I mean it's really a shame because it's a fun little show. It's very small. It's at a college, but it's a fun one. We've gotten to know other vendors there, and put in my application this year. They actually asked me to come back last year.
Yeah.
Put in my application, so it wouldn't be a big deal, and I've had zero communication from them.
When's the show?
March,
Oh, that's not a good sign.
the last weekend of March, and I'm not the only one who hasn't gotten anything because their Facebook page, people are commenting under thing going, "Did you get my application?"
Oof.
And they're like, we sent everything out like a week ago, all our acceptances, all our rejections, and we're like, they're like, if you haven't heard from us, email us. And I'm like, I emailed you a week ago, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you guys.
They
So
need a Dylan with a list.
they need something. I mean, I get that they're kind of a student-led organization, but it's bad. It's just so bad this year. And I don't know if somebody new has come in to take care of it or what the story is, but that was my March. And I don't think I've got anything until November at this point. But I'll be back in November at Grand Rapids.
Oh, that's one that's on my list to go to eventually.
Yeah, I'll be there with Henri.
Oh, nice.
We split space.
Oh.
Which is fun because we have such totally different products.
Yeah. Yeah. You want these cats?
You want cats or toys? Head here. If you want, military stuff, go over there.
That's funny.
I got to get a banner for this year because everybody thought he has his banners up behind us. I didn't have a banner. I just had a table runner this year. That was my big investment for my table this year. And everybody kept, asking me. I'm like, no, around the corner. Around the corner. So I could only imagine one with, cats and teddy bears up against his war lion.
Is it the full back banner or like the retractable one?
No, he's got retractable vertical ones.
That's what you gotta do. You gotta get another one and then just like put them like this and like face them. Yeah. It's kind of like when you go to what's it called, the movie theater hallway, and they have all the new stuff. It's like what's it called? How to Train Your Dragon, and it's like Kill, Murder, Death, and it's like whoa,
right.
Fire 3, and then it's like Titanic re-release. Angry Birds.
Yeah, so I'm anybody wants me to guest or anything, I'm available.
Nice.
Just wait till April.
Yeah, when basketball is done, right?
When basketball is done, I'm available.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I mean, I've got a kid who takes off March Madness.
Oh,
like he takes it off from work. So
that's wow. That's commitment.
He only works right now because he's in school. He only works one day a week, but he took like the whole thing off is like every Friday off. He's like, I'm not.
They're all like, what the?
Well, and the thing is, he's just coming back from 6 months off because he took a student leave, and they're like, "Are you actually working here?"
Yeah.
You're taking like all your time off. You put it in. I'm like, you approved it, guys. What do you want me to tell you?
That's their own fault.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, what do you want me to tell you? But yeah, Laurie, you got stuff though.
Yeah, I'm going to be at Texoma Comic-Con tomorrow. So Saturday and Sunday, it's in Durant, Oklahoma, right next to the casino. I am not staying at the hotel overnight. I heard just terrible stories about the shenanigans going on in that hotel. Woo-wee! So no, I'll be driving back and forth. It's only about an hour from me, so
okay.
I'll be commuting. But like people are setting up today and posting like pictures online of their setup, and so I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to this year. Last year was the first year of Texoma. And there's like no comic book stores in Durant, Oklahoma. The closest comic book store was the one that was in McKinney that I used to go to all the time called Carpe Diem, which is now unfortunately closed. And so there's a whole group of people that just need their nerd fix, So they found us last year. And so this year I'm expecting it to grow. So, and I got a banner just this year for Christmas. I invested in a banner, so I have my first retractable banner. So to that.
Is it behind the piano?
Yeah.
Yes.
When you move too fast, everything disappears. Elton John will be here later to play Rocket Man.
Nice.
It might be after the show. Sorry, guys.
But
I'm looking forward to that. There's going to be a ton of indie there. Charter Comics, Chris Hayes. Ken Salinas, Lacey Kruger. I'm going to be right next to William Russell, the angry artist. That'll be fun. Sam Vera will be there. My good buddy George Medina will be there. He's going to be in town from New York. There's a ton. DJ Hall, Corey Daggerpont. a ton. So if you're going to be in the area, come on by. There's free parking, which you won't get anymore.
I have a parking story.
Oh, yeah, we all have that parking story.
stories.
Yeah. So I'll be getting up at the butt crack of dawn to get there on time and set everything up, but I'm looking forward to it. Being in that group of people kind of re-energizes me to be with them. So I've been doing a lot of podcasting. Obviously, our Kickstarter campaign is live right now. We got 7 days left on Path of the Pale Rider 1 through 6. Yes. And we have hot sauce. So you can eat your hot sauce hopefully within 7 days before the girl crawls through the TV to kill you. Good times. Dylan.
Cool. So, where can people find you? We'll go with Katrina first.
Let's see. Where can you find me? That's a good darn question.
Come on.
Look, it's winter in Michigan. Things get a little fuzzy.
There's too much snow there right now. You need
So much snow. We hit 29 right now. So hey, we're having a heat wave. Greg probably gets it. Yeah, the 29-degree heat wave. No, well, the part of it is for those who don't know, my website got eaten by Google.
Why did was it?
I don't know. I had the same website for about 16 years, guys, like forever.
Oh God.
And I went to log in one day to do a post on the site, and it said, "This doesn't exist." And there were tears and panic. And if you don't know, because I had a custom domain, but it pointed to Blogger. And
Blogger down?
No, it was not. But for those who don't know, Google does not believe in tech support or customer support.
Oh.
There is no way to contact them except to leave a comment. So
Wait, so because if the website's down, that wouldn't be Google. It would be whatever.
No, Blogger is owned by Google.
Oh, Blogger's owned by Google. That's what I was just about to ask.
Yeah, so I'm just blaming the whole company. I do have new hosting. I've rebuilt the site, but I don't like it. So I'm probably gonna have to redo it again. But I did get lucky that about a week later it reappeared magically.
Oh my God.
Basically everything I went through said it had been permanently deleted. And so I immediately did a backup, and we've uploaded it to the new host. So I didn't lose 16 years worth of. Do you know how many recipes were on that page?
I'm actually going to say something. If you have a website and if it ever goes down, there's something called the Wayback Machine.
We did that, and it was missing about 2 months worth of stuff. But it was absolutely better than nothing, and I could save the things that I definitely like my services page.
Yeah.
The things that I was like, I have to have this back. So we did do that. And then, like I said, it came back and we got it re-uploaded. If you want to see the new design, it's at lifewithkatie.com. If you hate it, that's okay, because I don't love it either. Facebook, Katrina Roets. Let's see, Instagram is Life with Katie. Those are probably the easiest way. Blue Sky, I believe, is also Katrina Roets. Twitch is Katie Roets. So I'm a little bit everywhere. Feel free to message me anytime. I'm, exceptionally ridiculously social. Are we gonna pull up the look of the new site that we don't like? Yeah.
What a jerk.
The only thing is that I would say it's being hosted by a friend of mine at a ridiculously low price, and he put together this template. And I don't like that when you come in and about the author thing on the front page. Maybe that's just me because I'm used to a blog style. So it could totally just be me. And everybody else is like, yeah, this is really great. No. But see, this is what it does. It's like you go in there and you got to go through the categories, and it's yeah.
Crackpot recipes. It says crockpot, but my brain read crackpot.
Crackpot, yeah. Well, I was kind of a crack.
I think that's
trying to
a,
put that
a
together.
man thing.
I mean, if you look at there are like I didn't realize how many recipes I'd put together on this page
Wow.
until I had to like redo it. I was
So many.
Just shoot me.
so many.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I would eat that.
Yeah, we did this one actually. I pull it out every once in a while. We did it for Christmas Eve this year when my youngest brought his new girlfriend, and we discovered that she basically cannot eat any meat unless it's seafood or chicken.
Why?
She has some kind of health reasons.
Oh, you mean of all food, like no vegetables, none of that, like just.
Well, I had no. You think that's Dylan? You should see me. I knew she had like health issues and that there were certain things she couldn't eat. And we thought, my youngest and I thought we'd put together a menu that would work. So I had like a veggie tray. We had the pulled pork for pulled pork sandwiches. We had potato salad, macaroni salad, and literally she was like, "I can't eat any of that." And I was like,
We tried.
I mean, you feel so bad because you're trying to be a good host to this new person, and the only thing she had to eat that day at my house was I'd bought in like Walmart has those little individual mini pies in their bakery.
Yeah.
She ate like one of those. That was all she ate the whole time. And then we had just invested in a Nintendo Switch so that everybody could play like Mario Party and stuff together.
Oh yeah.
And we got a great deal at the local like used game store on it and used system. And she's like, "I can't play things on the big screen."
Why?
I'm like, today is
a miss again.
I'm like, today is a total fail. I tried so hard, and it just was a total fail.
Okay.
And it was horrible because then they broke up, and it was and I felt so bad because my first thought was, well, at least I don't have to try to plan another meal.
I was gonna say, I'm not gonna lie, if that happened to me, I'd be like, well, then here's a phone with a picture of a chicken. Small screen and you can dream.
I knew she couldn't eat beef, right? And she can't eat tomatoes, so I was like, well, there goes like nachos out the window. There goes anything, So
Spaghetti.
I thought, yeah, any pasta. And so I thought, well, pulled pork. She said I can't eat red meat. I'm like, well, pork is a white meat, And no, apparently it was a fail.
Do you know the show King of the Hill?
Yeah.
The first thing I'm thinking of, it's like, hey, Dad, what do we do if they ask us to cook the steak well done? It's like, well, Bobby, we ask them kindly to leave.
Yeah. I'm like, today was just but now they're talking about getting back together. Like, oh, okay.
How about send me a list of things you can eat?
Well, I actually said to her, I said, next year or whatever, why don't you plan the menu and I'll just cook it?
You should do like potluck, like
bring what you can eat.
Bring something.
Yeah, you bring what you want to eat.
She did bring brown butter cookies, which are like a sugar cookie but done with brown butter.
Yeah.
So I mean, she contributed and they were delicious. But I felt bad that like literally all she could eat or would eat was pie.
There's an ice cream joint like right down the street that has brown butter ice cream with cookie dough in it, and it's fantastic.
Oh, that sounds good.
I think it's a custard actually.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
All right, now Laurie, where can we find you?
Yes,
I'm everywhere. I watch you while you sleep, Dylan.
Is that everywhere.com?
Everywhere.
Like I stand over your bed while you're sleeping, and I'm just like, there's Dylan. Just kidding.
Dylan, do you have a list yet?
I thought the wood was just creaking. Now I know what that really was.
It's really me. I'm actually in your house right now. So I'm on Facebook, of course. I'm on Instagram.
It's my piano.
It is your piano. I stole it. What else am I on, Greg? I'm on TikTok. I'm on Blue Sky. I have a YouTube channel. YouTube is Laurie Calcaterra 360. I have 3 podcasts. So the Tuesday Morning Brew every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Greg was recently on that.
Good job.
I'm on Any One World Showcase. I host that one, and Wednesdays at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I interview creators from ASAP Imagination and Any One World, which is my publisher in the UK. And then every other Friday, I have the joy of releasing episodes of this intentional dumpster fire of a podcast called Killer Karen. And I put on a blonde wig and I act unhinged and I let people try to promote their indie stuff. Greg's episode is tonight.
Yeah.
In fact, it starts in about 25 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. If you want to find out on YouTube, you can look at videos of my kids doing things.
Cool. So yeah, come find me at I do Comic-Cons mostly in my area right now. I am going to start branching out and going out of state probably this year, but there needs to be like pre-planning, and I don't have a Dylan to plan for me, so that's one of the things that I'm terrible at. I'm like, oh yeah, that Comic-Con is booked.
Yeah.
Or next year too. Okay. So I'll be around. I usually do a Women in Comics in March. I do FriskCon in April, which is just at a local library.
Con?
FriskCon is in Frisco, Texas.
Not in, that's how you have to get in.
Yeah. And then I am doing a new one called Texas Haunters in July. It's a Halloween-based Comic-Con in July.
Okay.
Yeah, Halloween starts July 5th.
I was gonna say, it's like Christmas in July when they do that.
Yeah, but except it's Halloween. So I'm looking forward to that one. And then, of course, I usually do a bunch in the fall. There's Fan Fest, which is similar to Fan Expo. It's the same people, but half the price for the table.
Okay.
They sent me an invitation to Dallas Fan Expo today, but they were like, you can get on the early bird special and send us $650 for your 4-foot table.
Is Fan Expo the same one that puts on MegaCon?
I don't think so. Fan Expo is a big one. So there's Fan Expos in different states.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I think it is. I think MegaCon is the Fan Expo that's in Florida because I looked it up. It has like 160,000 people that go there. Something crazy.
Well, they're probably a lot of money for their table.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I looked it up.
I would love to come as a guest. Not quite
Right.
here yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'll be around. So please come find me. Please go to the Kickstarter if you haven't yet, because again, 7 days left. We're ripping and roaring. We're on our way to the slice and dice stretch goal where I dress up as Pikachu and I smash watermelons, pumpkins, pineapples, or jackfruit. I haven't decided what I'm smashing yet, but
Is this like
vote on the weapon. Real life fruit ninja. Yeah. This is great, Dylan. I let the people name the thing. So we've had pumpkins named Ichabod Craven. Our last one was a jackfruit. What?
Carving.
Who needs to carve it? I already bashed it to smithereens. Yeah, with a sledgehammer. That was fun.
A good name. That's messed up.
Yeah, no, they're used to, see what I mean? Like we name puppies and then I kill them. They're used to it, right? Because we named a jackfruit and then they vote on what weapon they want me to use to destroy it. And then I do. So, but you got to dress up as Pikachu. I sometimes light them on fire. I dance around barefoot. Because I can. I don't know. It's just a thing now. So that's coming. So help us get to the slice and dice. I would really like to unlock the scratch and sniff stickers. You know, we have a zombie flesh scented sticker. What? Dylan is curious. I can tell.
Yeah, it's like that. Those gross jelly beans, the Jelly Belly ones.
Yeah.
Someone actually asked me to do that. They're like, you should do jelly beans. I was like, what? I was like, we do undead bears. They're like, we can undead.
Or Jones Soda. Jones Soda, you can get custom ones made.
Yep.
Yeah.
Idea. I don't want to ship beverages though. No. I already ship hot sauce. That's good enough. Thank you.
Hot sauce and the death of vegetables.
Yes, that's kind of my shtick.
I ship just.
So that's it. That's where we're gonna be. It's where I am. So come find me. Come hang out. Come smash watermelons with me. All the good stuff.
Oh God, that should be something you do at conventions. Like bring a watermelon and just
I think
smash
they'll
it.
let me in.
I was gonna say, I don't know if they would.
You bring in your tables, your comics, and they're like, "What's up with the watermelons?" Like, don't worry about that.
They're like, forget the watermelon. Whose axe is that?
Have you seen Henry's sword? They let him in with his sword. Yeah, look at any of his pictures, like the end of his when he sells out of everything. He poses in front of the empty boxes with his sword,
Awesome.
and it's a legit sword. He had me pose with it last show we did, and I was like, I don't know, I want to hold you this sword. If I drop this,
I get in trouble?
It's like, wow, that's a cool chainsaw prop. It's like, yeah.
yeah, it is.
Yes, this is a prop. This is a two-handed axe prop.
The gasoline smell, that's just a
No.
That's normal. That's my
It-
aftershave. Like,
It's like one of those car scent things.
it's my cologne. It's Sex Panther, right?
that's funny.
I'm not gonna lie, that smells like pure gasoline.
I'm also
Oh my God.
flammable. That's my middle name.
Yeah.
Laurie Flammable Calcaterra. Eh.
It's awesome. Cool. Well, thanks everybody for coming.
Well, your Kickstarter link will be in the description.
Thank
It'll
you.
come out on Wednesday. So
Oh, just in time to kid and they'll be like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, done. Yeah. It was nice to see you, Katrina.
Yeah, you too.
I was
Laurie.
happy when Greg was like, I have a Thursday show. You can be with Katrina. I was like, sign me up. Sign me up.
Except for it's Friday.
I was about to
That's
say,
what I meant. I don't know what